Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Sumu from CZT Lin Chiu. All right. So this is part of the Inktober Tangles 2022. And there's a lot to unpack on this step out. By the way, in the description section, you will find link to my version of the step out as well as Lynn's. I always list that under for more inspiration because I will put links to whoever originated the tangle. And if there's other things of interest about that tangle, like some people, I find it in a couple different places. So I will, I post it that way. All right. Yeah, like I said, lots to unpack here. Now, one thing that I found is um, Lynn has this listed as steps, and it took me a little bit trying to figure out and play with it. And really, these are tangulations. The thing that's listed as step one, and we're going to do that right now. That would be the basic tangle, if you will, or fragment, because I'm thinking this is kind of more of a fragment used in different ways. That's the best way I can. I'm coming up to think about it. So this starts off with a C type shape that then goes into an S. And so I'm going to start it. I always, let's see. All right. I'm going to do just a big one here. So, like I said, comes around. So it's a nice C shape coming around on itself and then into an S shape. I probably went a little overboard on the top part, but oh well. This is Zentangle. There's no such thing as a mistake. It is just what it is. All right. Then, from kind of where we started, we're going to use the take off and land. You can see my fingers pointing. I'm talking and I'm pointing at the screen. We're going to use the take off and land concept. So I'm going to use this as a bit of a runway. And we're just going to make another curve line, sort of like that. She has it listed as a U, so really you could have maybe made a little bit more of an arc. That's up to you. That's the fun that we all get to do when we play with tangles. All right, then this we're going to have basically do 3 consecutive C shapes. It looks like it will end up looking like a lowercase m-ish. All right, so I'm going to start at this end just because that's how I want to do it. Too, I kind of go with the planting of my hand and then the natural flow, and sometimes it just depends. I like to draw up, and sometimes I like to draw down. It probably just depends on the day. That's that's my guess. All right, so I'm going to start at this end, then we're going to end at this end. So I'm coming up like with an arch and sort of kind of in the middle, and then making a smaller C shape, and then coming to the end. Now, if you do like this, where you overshoot, because that's just where it ends, easy fix. Just connect that line. So this is our basic shape. Then, now I originally was going to just pick several that I liked, and now I'm thinking, no, maybe I should, do all of these. So I'm going to start with the ones that I like first, because yeah, okay, maybe I won't. I said because I've played with those ones more. All right, let's not do that. So let's do this would be Tangulation 2, because I'm thinking this might be a good idea to just go through all of them, because I'm thinking about what I would want, and so hopefully you do the same. Okay, so this one is the basic shape is what they call the onion dome, but it's really 2 S shapes connected, and so I can kind of only draw them one way, and I'm just gonna do one big one. Yes, yes. Okay, so kind of coming from the end here in the middle, like that. So if you this way, if I look at it this way, it's kind of a backwards S, and then we're going to come down from this peak. So we're making it we're mirroring it, or doing it the opposite direction. If you do music, or actually you could, that's a bracket, in other instances. So if you're good at drawing brackets like that, I think of it as, on the piano line of music. Actually, I think it fits this way. I forget. But anyway, it's essentially a bracket, but they call it the onion dome. Mine is a little more squatty, so it looks like more of a bracket than the other. All right. So from there, we're going to come out of the top with, it's essentially a C shape, or the beginnings of it's just a spiral, right? So like that. Then, and really, if you think about it, this, and I didn't think about it until now, we could have done, but it might have been harder to fit it in, because here's that original shape, right? But this one is backwards, so you could think about it that way as well. Okay, and then from there, going back to the original steps, and let me see if I can do this a little bit better, because yeah, I want to see where am I ending up. All right, so I'm going to try to, well, okay. I don't know what I was going to try to do, but it's like it's a curve line coming from this end. You have fun playing with it. Take a look. That's why you have to put in the originator of the tangles work, the creator, so that way you look and then you can play as well. And then from here, it's that same 3 consecutive curve lines. Oops, let's get that to meet up there. And here too. See, and you can also, like that. There, I overshot it so that way it's like, oh, I like this shape, and then you could always come back and have it meet up. It's all good. Okay, so this one, Tangulation 2. This is gonna be. I'm trying to make this not be a marathon one. Okay, Tangulation 3 starts off with, oh, let's see, and this is more of a border, and okay, so let's put a diamond shape in the middle, and then one. Well, let's see. Oh, I'm going to do this end first. I probably could have done those a little bit bigger, but that's okay. And I'm going to turn it so I can see it better. Oh, it's not necessarily even, but you know what? This is Zentangle. There's no such thing as mistakes. Okay. And then, then this one is, it's kind of a C-shaped curve line, but we're, oh, but you can, let's see. I'm coming out straight a little bit, make a nice, need to make sure I can see here, like that. We have a little, like a starting and stopping, a little ramping up into the C shape. That's the way I'm going to say it. I'm sticking to it. All right, and then I'm flipping my tile over so I can do the same thing on the other side, and aiming to have it be as similar as possible, but even if it's not, it's okay. And then, okay, so then there are still some little differences. So similar to what we just did, coming out of these diamonds, a little, curve line going both directions. And, make sure to do this. Right now, I'm telling myself, you should do this so that your hand is comfortable, because that direction was not so comfortable. And some of these are going off of the edge just a little bit. I could have pulled those in a little bit better. Okay. And there we go. Now, the next step is, in between these, we're going to put a big C-shaped curve line, like so. And I'm using the outer edges as my takeoff and land, just because when you just kind of start and stop, it adds continuity. Because if I'm just, I'm just going to put a curve line here, then you'll just, I don't know, I'm trying to think how to describe it best. It just looks nicer. Take my word for it. Oh, there was gosh, was it just yesterday's Tangle? No, not yesterday's. The day before, where I did that, and it was just like, I took off and then crashed is what I called it, and that way it was kind of nice because then I could show the difference. But then I also showed how to adjust afterwards, how to course correct. Okay, so now that we have these, then then it's a matter of okay, we're gonna do the three consecutive curve lines, and I'm looking. Oh, they're coming out of the okay. They're coming out of the middle of these. All right. So, okay. So starting at the middle right here, and let's see where we're landing. We are landing. Oh, we're landing. Okay. Well, either way you want to start. So I'm just going to put a little dot here so you can see. So this is our start or our finish, both ways. Okay. And if you want to do a little takeoff and land, I mean, I'm not sure if that's going to work or not. Let's see. Okay. And then from here, yes, making sure I'm going the right. 1, 2, 3, like that. After you do it, it ends up being a little bit more okay. I'm glad I'm doing all of these. And as I'm looking at them, I'm like, well, that looks awful. And if you're doing the same, and I share that because if you're doing the same, and maybe just while practicing, if you want to put that little dot there, if you find it helpful, do it. I was making mine a little bit too big. Yeah, so you could sort of use the takeoff and land like this. So if I trace a little bit over here, I don't know if this is one where I don't know, I'm not sure if it matters because it depends on how your curve is because we're connecting these two middles, like I said. Okay. So while I think this is one of those where it's like, okay, I'm not going to look at it for a minute and then I'll come back. Now, if we did some shading, that's going to definitely help things. But it's one of those, okay, after I stop looking at it for a minute and then go back and look at it, it's not as bad as I think. This was one that I didn't have on my list because I was like, I don't like that one as much as the other ones. Um, oops, so I'm finishing these off because it's like I just have to, where it goes off the page, and then it looks a lot more. We have that continuity. That's my word. Okay, and maybe we'll come back and we will shade some later. I want to get through these and not have this be an hour video for you, and or maybe you do. You know what? There's a way to do like bookmarks. I'm gonna make sure to do that. I'm gonna figure out how to do it. That'll be a good learning experience for me. Okay. I've seen them. I don't think I've done them myself, but so in the description section, if you want to come back, take a look for the and hopefully I'll figure it out, the little timestamp. So if you want to just do one and you need to come back, then I should have that down there. Okay, so Tangulation, what's listed as Tangulation 4 is starting with the same kind of diamond, and I'm gonna make this one bigger because it can be. There we go. And this one is a little bit different than the others in that each point we're going to come off the point with a little. I'm just going to call it a curlicue. I do really like to speak in essential element or elemental stroke language. That's what I call it. Just for consistency, but sometimes because it's a big C shape that turns on itself or auras itself, sort of, kind of. All right. So and these are just going one direction. Okay. So that is a difference. Then and then we start the process of, so then this like becomes our, if we go back to the original figure, that's where we're at now. So then I always have to take a look to see, just to make sure I'm getting this part right. So really coming, sorry, I'm moving this, it's not cooperating. So coming off of where we start the curly cue, for lack of a better, um, where's this one? Okay, same thing, curve line. And by this time, I shouldn't have to keep relooking, but I do. And if that gives, if you do too, then good. That gives us all hope. All right, so then we have that, and then for our 3 consecutive curve lines, we are we starting and ending? Oh no. There is a little trick on this one. This is why I'm doing all of them. We're starting from the back side. This is what I'm calling the back side of that for the curly cues that we've done, and I'm just looking to make sure I'm being right. Yes. So here's our start. Here's our end. And that one I just feel the need, so that way they're kind of even, and it's hard to judge that from when you're doing this initial curve line. So always feel like you can course correct like that. This, um, like I said, there's no such thing as a mistake. That's why I call them course corrections. But maybe this is one of those where maybe once, if I practice it enough or something, then it will be, uh I will think ahead of time and go, oh, I need to make this curve line a lot more. So, and as much as I've been playing with it, I haven't quite gotten that yet. So there we have Tangulation number 4. Now, she did put that you could do this. Since I have room on this one. Oh, well, no, I don't even need to do that. So you could do any shape in the center here. And you will see that at the end. So any shape that you want, because she has a triangle, a pentagon, a hexagon, also. So just so you know. All right. I need to order a new box of bijou tiles. Tangulation number 5 is, and I'm not doing too bad on time if I do say so. This one starts off like the Tangle Fangle, which I first thought, I'm like, oh, because that's one that's kind of on my nemesis list. But we did it. I think we did it not too long ago, or maybe it was last year. All right, so this one starts off similar to that original shape, not so much with the curly cue on top, but just more of a C-shaped curve line going into an S, kind of like a backwards question mark. And then, I don't know, I'm going to go this direction. And then starting from that same point, and then just, make little spokes coming from there. And of course, it doesn't matter how many you have. It's just nice to have them divided. I'm going to leave it at that. Um, and then this one from here, we're going to go pretty much right into. Oh, this one's going to be maybe I should I'll put an extra one in here. Needed to divide that up. Okay. So we're going to go from one end to the next end. And Lynn had it separated, but this is just my thought. I found it just as easy to go 1, a 2, a 3. Although, well, no. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's just how that one ended up. Oh no, they're all. Oh no, they all end up with this side not similar, not like this. Okay, and I apologize if. Oh, now I have the old Tootsie Roll commercial in my head. I apologize if you caught that and now it is in your head too. So I just, yeah, like I said, I found this just plenty easy to, starting at this tip and then 1, 2, 3, landing on the last one like so. And, well, it's, So looking back at hers, I say if you can get a little bit more of a curve in here, that's up to you. But that's fun. Okay. Uh, all right. Now, Tangulation number 6. This would be like a border. And actually, I did not mention it. Obviously, this would be a border. Um, that was Tangulation 3, Tangulation 2, like a border. This will be Tangulation number 6. And this starts off with consecutive C shape curve lines, just like that. And then, and I'm turning this so that way it's more comfortable. And then we're going to do that little, the other C shape where it's kind of turns into a curly Q. This one you could take off and land. So like taking off here and then coming around. Like so. Then, and I'm turning so that way it's comfortable for my hand. And I hesitate because I'm re-looking at the angle that she has these at. We're just going to do like that. So same idea from as the beginning, coming off of that end of that original C shape curly Q, whatever you want to call it. Then okay, this one, which would then be not similar, and I say this because I don't, so that way it's not, it's confusing enough. I don't want to confuse things more. This one, remember, we came off of the curly Q and landed on the C shape that like here that we just added. This one, though, we are starting and stopping from these curve lines that we just did. So we're not coming from here. So here, like that. I guess I'm going to have only 2 here. And here, this is quite big. So that's why I started this part of the second one a little soon. And then let's see. I'm just looking. Well, I'll finish it off later because it's like, oh, how would this end up over to here? I don't know. I will figure that out. so this one again as a border, kind of neat. All right, now Tangulation number 7. This one again is an S shape, and she has it more of as a proper S. So let's see. I'm going to make this kind of big. So a big S, and then on the bottom of this one, doing, having it curl back in on itself. Then the next one, she has this curl up here on top. I'm going to keep it the same way and hope that I can get this butted up next to each other because that's one of the things that she has. Or I can, let's see, I can just add. That's more of a curve. This one will just touch like that. Okay, then from the curvier part, and since I'm down here already, curve line going out, I'm going to turn it, curve line going out, then the 3 consecutive or M type shape goes here, there's 2, and then this one just kind of merges in. Again, take off and land would work really, really nice there. So that way it merges in. There, I think we have it. Wow, and it's not that much. Well, I haven't even haven't even gotten to shading yet. But look at all of these variations from from her one tangle. Again, this is the basic shape. I should put that in the middle. Okay, and so we have all. Well, you can't even see it because my camera's down too low. all of these shapes coming from this one. And that's where I was thinking that if we consider this to be a fragment of sorts, then that would make it that makes sense, because then you put the fragment in different directions, and then it's just really fun. All right, so let's see, gosh, and with so many tangles, I'm not going to do the basic shape, because, well, I could do that here, because this way it's like we have two. Well, it's mirrored, so it's different. so many so many thoughts on shading. One would be, this is one of those, I'm just going to pick a side, and I'm going to stick with that side. Ooh, let's come up around there. And we will do these in some stages, just to give you some ideas. Oh, that looks neat. And this, because it's small, sometimes just a back and forth motion, or if you can do little teeny circles, great. Back and forth works just fine. Or, like I say, scooching this way. See, and just that looks neat. But let's go on this other side, just because. And this is where it's just fun to play. Oh, and then we just can't leave that. Yeah, neat. All right, then here you have lots, but you could do something similar. I also want to see if I can rescue anything here. And one of the things that I just noticed, and, well, it's not on this one of hers, but there are some things that I think are just really, really neat, and that is like, just adding an extra little line, and some dots, because I like those. And so I'm coming from the curly Q part. You don't have to do the dots. You could just do dots. That looks really neat too. That's a perfing, is the name of that tangle enhancer. And you could just do some dots if you want to, but sometimes just adding a little something is neat. And a lot of times I forget about that until I see that somebody else has done it, and it's like, oh, that's amazing. Now, it could add some graphite in that same area. Here's one thing that I'm thinking. Ooh. Two things that I'm thinking. So you could, and I'm just going to do it in the diamonds, I think. Very lightly put some straight lines. I like the way that looks. And that's a way of shading with the pen, right? They call it, and I need to, as many times as I say it, I should not hesitate to say what it's called. Hash marks, or hash lines. I think it's hash marks. But that could be done in these big orbs also. And so how about, why not? Let's just do it. And if you do it really light, I like to get it a little bit closer together than that. Really light touch, and I'm just like barely touching the surface with the pen. And when you do that, it also helps, so that way it doesn't matter if the lines are straight or not, if the closeness of them, if they're not exact. I mean, we don't aim for exact anyway. I mean, close does win you the cigar in Zentangle. But there's something about this where it's just really light. Even if something skipped like that, that's fine. It just adds to the character of it. Then shade that part, because I would want that to go down, and this I would shade a little bit darker. I need to turn that. I would shade this a little bit darker than the other places, because I want it to sink down below. And oh, yes, like that. And then why not just add some graphite up here at the tip to start with. You know, and maybe you were thinking the same thing because it's like there's that little shape there, which is just okay. No, this is not the same pen I was using. I'm like, why does this one seem like it's dying? Okay. So these are like little open areas. Okay, now let's try. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, you know what? Let's just do we'll do the top side. Mm-hmm. Honestly, sometimes there's just no way to really go wrong with the graphite unless you do too much all at once and it's just too much and you have graphite remorse where everything is just gray. And while we don't use erasers in Zentangle because it's a fun objective to just see, well, okay, I don't like what happened. What else can I do? If you end up with graphite remorse, then no one would blame you if you grab a eraser or something. Okay, that's interesting. I think I want a little bit up here because I don't want to get into the like I said the graphite remorse area. Yeah, just needed something. And I'm gonna do another little trick. Let's I'm gonna make this darker. And this, by the way, is a colorless blender. It does amazing things. Look at how that made that darker. This is like plastic or something. And thanks to my friend Rosemary, who gave us all kinds of wonderful, wonderful, neat ideas on uh, shading and gems and stuff. I'm going to do this in here just a little bit because I had not thought you could use this for anything other than colored pencils. Ha! Who knew? Well, Rosemary did, and I'm glad that she shared it with us. I'm just putting a little graphite in here, and then I'm going to come back. This is also nice if you need to fit into a little area. But I kind of just want these to be darker because they're way behind. It's like these are cutouts. Oh, I had some red on here. Now I can see it there. Okay, well, I'm sorry. Still playing. There we go. And so the thing too with to avoid graphite remorse is make something just darker, and then and try that first. So that's what I did without using an eraser. I made all of those background points a little bit darker, and then let's do this. If you're still not happy with something, just come and aura the entire thing. And actually, that's kind of handy when you're doing a border anyway, because then if you want if you're doing a border and you're going to do some tangling outside of it, this kind of gives a nice little. Oh, see that made. Oh my goodness, that made all the difference. Then it creates a little barrier, so then you can tangle on. All right, so that's just a couple ideas. I think this was the best example. I'm gonna play with the rest before I finish. But I think that we covered enough stuff here to give you some ideas. The basic thing was to explore the tangle, and I think we did that and then some. So I appreciate you watching. If you've hung on here to the last minute, thank you, thank you. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments your thoughts too. Um, I mean, this one, like I said, just had a lot to unpack. A lot of tangles don't have this many variations, but they were so different. And I was thinking, if I was looking at this, and I would want to, you know, I would want to know how to do it. So I was really doing this for myself. So anyway, if you enjoyed the video, would love to have you click like, and feel free to share it. And if you like it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. I already mentioned the description section to find the step outs, but below those you will find links to my website and our wonderful Facebook group that we have. So if you would like to tangle, if you need to have, well, you might not know that you need to have friends that tangle. But if you would like to find some friends that tangle, we know that we can't have enough friends, to enjoy tangling with. So feel free to, if you happen to be on Facebook, join us there. There's a link to the group. Know that there are a couple questions that I have required for admittance into the group. If you also would like to tangle live, I do classes almost twice a week, and I do them 2 times a day. I decided that a long time ago, and then have just stuck with it. And you can come to both. We do, it's the same content, just different people and new ideas, on each session. But you will see that on my website under you'll see the link in the menu for classes/sessions. Would love to have you join us. We do like to have a lot of fun. On the YouTube channel, there are links to some of the class replays, and so feel free to check those out. That way you'll see for sure if you wanna come and join us. Also, if you happen to be following the Inktober Tangles, as I had mentioned, this is a part of 2022. I do have a playlist, so I do a daily video anyway, and so I have these listed in that playlist section, and I'm only putting them in there as they happen, and I do these the day before they. So like this technically is for tomorrow, but I like to get this done and out of the way, so that way and posted, so that way everybody that's doing them can have fun with them on the day that they're due. I know a lot of people work ahead though. So with that, I think I hit everything and then some. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate it a lot. I hope you had fun. I had fun. And I wish you happy tangling.